Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. We definitely want you guys to stick around for it, so please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, today I want to talk about Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. Now, Charles Barkley has been making news over the last 2 weeks for the Kyrie Irving thing, but it seems like now that things have kind of simmered down, people are starting to come back to normal. And just yesterday, I believe, was it yesterday, the day before that, he was on Inside the NBA. And, they were there up there cracking their jokes. They reacted to the game between the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. And there was a scuffle, obviously, between Patrick Beverley and these guys. And ultimately, they were talking about it. And they started talking about guys who can't fight in the NBA. Then Charles Barkley started talking about players that he thought that couldn't fight back in his playing day, which brings us to an article we saw on fadeawayworld.net that actually was touching on the relationship or lack thereof between Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan. But before we get into this article, it's important that we say this. Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan, they were very close when they were NBA players. They were very friendly, especially on that Olympic team. You can go out there, you can see interviews with the two of them on Oprah. They were absolutely, they looked like they had a lot of chemistry, and they seemed to be really good friends, right? Even when they were competitors and after their playing career. So when MJ and Charles had their falling out, it was something that was very surprising to a lot of us. Now, what caused these two gentlemen to fall out? As y'all know, Charles Barkley is very, very outspoken when he's talking about sports media. And there came a time when they asked him to give an assessment of how he felt Michael Jordan's Charlotte Hornets were doing under his leadership. And he gave a very frank and candid answer where he said that he felt as if Michael Jordan and these guys were not doing a good enough job. Those comments sparked this controversy to the point where even Stephen A. Smith went on ESPN First Take and was saying that Charles Barkley should not have said that on TV. And apparently, when those quotes or those comments got back to Michael Jordan, I think MJ found them to be very, very offensive. And apparently, what happened from that point forward was that he cut off Charles, and from that point, there was no relationship anymore. So while doing some research, we found this article on fadeawayworld.net with the headline that basically says Charles Barkley explained exactly how his friendship with Michael Jordan ended. The article continues on. Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley were excellent friends throughout their NBA career and for a while after. A tough playoff loss for Barkley when he was with the Houston Rockets saw MJ pick him up in a private jet to go play golf just hours later. And the two had some friendly banter over the years, including the time they were on the Oprah Winfrey Show. It's common knowledge now that their friendship has come to an end, though. Charles Oakley revealed that Michael Jordan would never be cool with Charles Barkley again. And considering that both are such prominent and still loved members of the NBA community, the situation is undoubtedly a sad one. Back in 2012, Barkley admitted that something he said led to the rift, and now he has elaborated further on the reasons. Charles Barkley said losing his friendship with Michael Jordan was the most prominent thing that happened in terms of his words hurting someone. Barkley has been an NBA analyst and commentator for over 2 decades. His unfiltered takes and candid analysis have made him a fan favorite. It has also led to a lot of success for Chuck. He recently signed a lucrative new contract, but speaking to Tom Brady on a podcast, Barkley spoke about his loss of MJ's friendship is one bad thing that came out of his media career. He said, I think probably me and Michael were best friends. That's probably the most prominent thing, Barkley said during a recent conversation with Tom Brady and Jim Gray. Michael Jordan losing his friendship was probably the most prominent thing that's happened to me. But I was being honest about what I thought. I said, listen, the toughest thing about Michael Jordan, he's got to put better people around him, because the toughest thing when you're famous, then they're on your private jet, you're buying all the drinks, you're buying all the dinners. Very few people are going to be honest with you. So you heard what Charles had to say there, and apparently it leads me to believe, and I think most of us here, that his honesty cost him his relationship with Michael Jordan. So let's dissect this here for a moment. Did Charles Barkley tell a lie when he was talking about Michael Jordan and the Charlotte Hornets? No, he didn't. And as a matter of fact, since the time MJ has taken over that team, I think they probably made the playoffs once, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't done very well as a franchise. Now, they recently drafted LaMelo Ball, who was a fantastic player, young player. So MJ definitely got that right. But in terms of the criticism that he threw at MJ's direction in terms of how he feels he's been doing as an owner, I think that he's 100% right in terms of him telling the truth. Now, there's the other aspect to it, which is this. Should he have said that on television? And I think the right answer will depend on who you're asking. If you're asking maybe someone that's close to the two of them, I think that person would say, no, he shouldn't have said it that way. That's what one person would say. If you ask another person that's maybe a fan of his show or maybe somebody that's in sports media, that person will tell you he should absolutely say what he thinks because Charles is beholden to his audience and not his friend. He's up there. He's getting paid to give his opinions on things and how he really sees them. So in that case, he's being loyal to his viewers, right? And he understands the position that he's in. So it really depends on who you're asking. Now, in terms of their relationship ever being rekindled, I don't think so. Based on the comments that Charles Oakley said, that he said, MJ didn't want to talk to you, blah, 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 whatever. And based on the type of personality that Michael Jordan has had, and a lot of the stories we've heard about him, MJ seems to be a person that holds on to a grudge, right? And in this particular case, I don't think they're going to be able to get back together. Now, the article said, and a lot of reports have been that MJ and Charles were actually friends. But it makes me think of the relationship that Jordan had with Scottie Pippen, because all throughout the years, ever since both of their retirements, I've heard Scottie Pippen say one or two things that might have caused MJ to say, hey, wait a minute, what's up with dude? When he started saying LeBron was better than him, saying this guy's better than him, MJ, and all of that, blah, 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 blah. MJ seemed to give Scottie a very long rope until the Last Dance docuseries when that came out, and that's when things changed. So it seemed like MJ had more patience with him. And with Charles, it seems like their relationship just kind of ended abruptly. Like all it took was him making those comments and all of a sudden he cut him off. At least that's how it seems to me. So in terms of those two situations, maybe MJ gave Scottie Pippen a longer leash because they were teammates and they won championships together and Charles was just a friend. But to be quite honest with you, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe these guys will get older and maybe they'll, realize, hey man, it's not that deep, or maybe not. And based on what we know about Jordan, I don't see Jordan letting go of this one. So these are my thoughts and opinions on this. What I want to know from you guys, what do you think about what Charles Barkley had to say? What do you think about some of the points that I had to say? And ultimately, do you think they ever become friends again, or do you think this is what it is, what it's going to be until the end of time? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.